On with my read aloud series from Indian Economic Development textbook for class 11. I am now in unit 3, current challenges facing the Indian economy. Chapter 5, human capital formation in India. What is human capital? Sources of human capital and human development, state of human capital formation in India, education sector in India, and future prospects. Introduction. Think of one factor that has made a great difference in the evolution of mankind. Perhaps it is man's capacity to store and transmit knowledge, which he has been doing through conversation, through songs, and through elaborate lectures. But man soon found out that we need a good deal of training and skill to do things efficiently. We know that the labor skill of an educated person is more than that of an uneducated person, and hence the former is able to generate more income than the latter, and his contribution to economic growth is consequently more. Education is sought not only as it confers higher earning capacity on people, but also for its other highly valued benefits. It gives one a better social standing and pride. It enables one to make better choices in life. It provides knowledge to understand the changes taking place in society. It also stimulates innovations. Moreover, the availability of educated labor force facilitates adoption of new technologies. Economists have stressed the need for expanding educational opportunities in a nation as it accelerates the development process. What is human capital? Just as a country can turn physical resources like land into physical capital like factories, similarly, it can also turn human resources like students into human capital like engineers and doctors. Societies need sufficient human capital in the first place, in the form of competent people who have themselves been educated and trained as professors and other professionals. In other words, we need good human capital to produce other human capital, say doctors, engineers. This means that we need investment in human capital to produce more human capital out of human resources. Let us understand a little more of what human capital means by posing the following questions. What are the sources of human capital? Is there any relation between human capital and economic growth of a country? Third, is the formation of human capital linked to man's all-round development, or as it is now called, human development? What role can the government play in human capital formation in India? Sources of human capital. Investment in education is considered as one of the main sources of human capital. There are several other sources as well. Investment in health, on-the-job training, migration, and information are other sources of human capital formation. Why do your parents spend more on education? Spending on education by individuals is similar to spending on capital goods by companies with the objective of increasing future profits over a period of time. Likewise, individuals invest in education with its objective of increasing their future income. Like education, health is also considered as an important input in the development of a nation as much as it is important for the development of an individual. Who can work better? A sick person or a person with sound health? A sick laborer without access to medical facilities is compelled to abstain from work, and there is loss of productivity. Hence, expenditure on health is an important source of human capital formation. Preventive medicine, that is vaccination, curative medicine, that is medical intervention during illness, social medicine, spread of health literacy, and provision of clean drinking water and good sanitation are the various forms of health expenditures. Health expenditure directly increases the supply of healthy labor force and is thus a source of human capital formation. Firms spend on giving on-the-job training to their workers. This may take different forms. 1. The workers may be trained in the firm like under the supervision of a skilled worker. 2. The workers may be sent for off-campus training. In both these cases, firms incur some expenses. Firms will thus insist that the workers should work for a specific period of time after their on-the-job training, during which it can recover the benefits of the enhanced productivity owing to the training. So, expenditure regarding on-the-job training is a source of human capital formation, as a return of such expenditure in the form of enhanced labor productivity is more than the cost of it. People migrate in search of jobs that fetch them higher salaries than what they may get in their native places. Unemployment is the reason for the rural-urban migration in India. Technically qualified persons like engineers and doctors migrate to other countries because of higher salaries that they may get in such countries. Migration in both these cases involves cost of transport, higher cost of living in the migrated places, and psychic costs of living in a strange socio-cultural setup. The enhanced earnings in the new place outweigh the costs of migration. Hence, expenditure on migration is also a source of human capital formation. People spend to acquire information relating to the labor market and other markets like education and health. For example, people want to know the level of salaries associated with various types of jobs, whether the educational institutions provide the right type of employable skills, and at what cost. This information is necessary to make decisions regarding investments in human capital as well as for efficient utilization of the acquired human capital stock. Expenditure incurred for acquiring information relating to the labor market and other markets is also a source of human capital formation. Look at the picture, and this we can see how a skilled person and modernization can bring about higher returns. You can see this. This person here says, with equal size of land, how is that his yield is more than mine? So look at his yield is much more than his. Okay, and in the background you can see a tractor there, and the caption is given as what's written here is, adequate education and training to farmers can raise production in farms. Here's a quote by Alfred Marshall about education, how it really enriches a person. See, he writes, the wisdom of expending public and private funds on education is not to be measured by the direct fruits alone. It will be profitable as a mere investment to give the masses of people much greater opportunities than they can generally avail themselves of. For by this means many who would have died unknown are enabled to get the start needed for bringing out their latent abilities. So that was the introduction to human capital formation in India.